besides wallow in his own misery. Speaking of wallowing in his own misery, I want to be done with Joe, but we're going to move on to another incel. Alright. Black-pilled Joker. Let me bring up this guy's popular videos. Here's an incel to explain why he's a failure at life because he hasn't gotten laid, even though he's, in his 20s. Ooh. What a global catastrophe. Like, are these people for real?
Hey, Marshmouth is the fourth here. I just gotta stop kidding myself, honestly, and just
Let's
face
up the
the
resolution.
facts and reality that none of you will ever help me. And I know that to be true.
No, it's just that you're not willing to take constructive advice because you, like Joe, feel entitled, buddy.
I gotta stop living
Why are these long pauses here? What purpose do they serve?
this fantasy life.
Of inceldom? The black pill? Yes, sir, you do. It quite is a fantasy. It definitely is one.
And keep hoping and wishing that just maybe someone might come along and give me a bunch of money, or a ton of money, like a good Samaritan would do.
Life doesn't happen that way, buddy. Like, obviously, there are, welfare programs to help get you off your feet. If you've, lost a job or something, or just, unable to work, you'll receive benefits from the government. But that just generally doesn't happen. People aren't that generous, okay?
Or someone who's actually generous enough. But, unfortunately, that doesn't seem to exist in this world at all. Or at least anymore, even if it did at one point in time. And I'm just a failure at life. Just a complete and total 100% failure in a...
Because you hate working. I mean, I hate working too, but on an interpersonal level, and, I'm moderately financially successful, so...
loser.
Interpersonally, I'm very good.
Do
Like, I feel really good. I have a good life.
get a job, which I would literally have to be lucky enough to honestly get any job for that matter, because I'm a high school dropout and I refuse to get my GED. So to put it
And you wonder why getting a job is so tough for you, buddy.
simple, I don't have an education. So how in the literal
That's gonna hurt your chances at getting a job now, isn't it?
fuck could someone such as myself, I don't know, somehow get a job? I mean, it would literally have to take a miracle for someone like me to get a job. And if I did, it would be far away.
Wait, why would a faraway employer actually accept you? Like, isn't that more of a hassle for you? Because, okay, you're a high school dropout, right? Well, how do you think they're gonna know that you have the capacity to move? You probably don't, right?
And I would have to have a car to get there. And I am planning on getting my driver's license soon. But
How old were you when you made this video?
even with that being said, I don't want to have to drive a car to work. Why? Because I don't want to have to pay for gas. I want to save everything I make. And if I have to spend my own money...
You could save more effectively by getting a job, couldn't you?
On the gas for my car, whatever car I might get...
You'll have a job at that point. So if your commute isn't that long, like, say, from your place of residence to your job, then that's going to do wonders in terms of your savings.
Or even if I have to borrow one of my relatives' cars or parents' cars or whatever, I'll have to pay for gas. So I won't be saving everything I make if I end up having to do that. So the only other choice...
But you'll have a job at that point. You'll have at least a semi-stable income now, won't you?
An option I have is riding a bike, which I would absolutely do, but I don't have a bike at all.
Okay. And I've turned this guy down because I don't want to hear his insipid drivel the whole time. Buying a bike is going to be much cheaper long term or if we're just referring to the paradigm of this specific job, getting a bike is going to be a much more cost-effective option, because you're not having to deal with the down payments. You're not having to pay monthly insurance. You're not having to spend exorbitant amount on gas prices and repairs. Okay? Obviously, you'll have to repair a bike from time to time, and do some upkeep, maybe pump air into the tires once in a while, but it pales in comparison to the cost of a car, which, hey, as a leftist, they're astronomical at this point. They're insane, which is why we should, nationalize the insurance industries. But yeah, it's insane, man. But getting a bike is going to be a much more worthwhile investment if we're just talking about, you getting a simple job.
Minimum wage position, and I got under $10 an hour or whatever, they'd probably still expect me to have a high school diploma, or at the very least a GED.
Why haven't you got it?
And who knows about this dairy farm? Maybe they do as well. Who knows? I guess I'll have to find out. But the only way I would work there is either if I were forced to physically, or literally had no other choice but to get that job. Because I am going to try to find that Amazon warehouse job, even though there is literally no address or location on Google Maps that shows the warehouse being in the place that it says it is, even though there is a website that literally shows that at one point they did have applications open, and like when they ended them, and now that they're closed.
That's probably like one position, but sprawled across various locations. If I had to guess, I don't know specifically what website he was referring to. So once he actually gets the job, they'll just probably assign him, a local position. But then again, it's Amazon, and I've critiqued them before, and they have, really horrible business practices. So
closed. But I'm still going to try to find it, pretty much. One of my parents, hopefully, and I will go on a wild goose chase and try to track down the location of the Amazon warehouse, hopefully. If we're even lucky enough to find it. And if we do, I will try in any way possible to get that job, or to convince them enough to give me that job. And, the other thing is the fact...
Okay, if they're going to want your GED, why not, get your GED?
That I need a job that would pay me a lot. Like the Amazon warehouse job.
Okay, you're going to need education, buddy. Or, certification, skills, whatnot.
For example, which is $16 to $35 an hour. Because everything I want is so expensive, and there are not that many jobs where I live, either in the state or location, that have that many good paying jobs for that matter, or any jobs at all. And there's literally, like I said, 2 jobs.
Okay, if you're not doing well economically, you'll probably have to don't take this as advice, but it's just, the absolute Hail Mary decision I do want to win, and that's, invest some credit, maybe even take out a loan on first month's, last month's insecurity on a place of residence that is near many jobs. That's just what I'd do. If I were in your shoes.
That's all that there pretty much is. And that's what I mean by little to no jobs. I live 15 miles away from...
You're going to have to get some education, or put some sort of, down payment on moving somewhere else, with good socioeconomic mobility and good employment opportunities. I don't know what to say.
In the nearest town.
Now, at the same time, you could also become a leftist and demand change, but, you're not going to actually force substantive results, like many other right-wingers.
And that's my
Joe.
That's my unfortunate situation. So peace out. Have a nice life, you f***ing assholes.
Even his own audience. Well, Jesus Christ. All right. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. God, I'm exhausted. Thank you very much. That's the stream. Bye-bye.